Hi, this is Stephen from Own or Disown. I wanted to follow up on my in-depth first look video on the MSI Prestige 15 by covering what I thought were the key points and provide some more in-depth details on its performance. I have reviewed many laptops over the past 4 years and I can honestly say that the Prestige 15 was one of my favourites. It's available at $1,400 for the 1080p model and $1,800 for the 4K with 32GB of RAM and 1TB of storage. As a business user, I appreciated its subtle styling and very nice build quality. The carbon grey anodized aluminium with diamond cut edges made it look quite classy. With a total travel weight of 4 pounds 11 ounces, it made for a very portable package. Charging by USB-C with its small 90-watt brick was also very convenient, as you can use a lower powered one just to keep it topped up if you don't have that one handy. Plus, its ability to fast charge to give 2 hours of use in only 15 minutes is vital for those that travel a lot. But its 82 watt hour battery can keep you going for about 8 hours, and that is with this beautiful 4K display. If you opt for the 1080p panel, expect around about 10 to 11 hours. Now this 4K True Pixel panel is perfect for content creation, watching movies, browsing the web, and even okay for gaming despite its 60Hz refresh rate. Having 220 pixels per inch make it great for photo editing. Despite the slim bezels, MSI still has room for a 720p webcam at the top. Now I measured 99% of sRGB, 90% of NTSC, 95% of Adobe RGB, and 87% of the P3 color space. Brightness was excellent, 410 nits at 100% brightness with a contrast of 1050 to 1. And even at 75% brightness, I measured 317 nits, which is as bright as most 1080p IPS panels at 100%. For a 15-inch, it has quite a small footprint, making it quite ideal for use in a car or an aeroplane. And if you do want something a bit smaller, MSI has also the 14-inch model. Some manufacturers go all in for USB-C ports, but thankfully MSI does include a regular USB-A for those toting old-school mice, thumb drives, or external hard drives. The inclusion of 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports is welcome, along with the HDMI port allowing you to connect to 3 monitors, and should you wish to use an external GPU, that is possible as well. Since it is a creator-oriented laptop, I found that the inclusion of a micro SD card reader rather than a full-size SD card a bit puzzling, and is the only negative I really have. Now getting inside is easy, although you do have to break the MSI warranty sticker, and upgrading M.2 storage, RAM and Wi-Fi is easy. Under the hood we have a 6-core i7-10710U Comet Lake 15-watt CPU with a base clock of 1.1 GHz and a single core boost up to 4.6 GHz. There is also the GTX 1650 Max-Q graphics, 16GB of RAM running dual channel, which can be maxed out at 64GB, and I have a 512GB SSD, which can be configured up to 8TB if you use both M.2 slots. I was very impressed with the i7-10710U because when testing it against a lower performing i7-9750H in the Yoga C940, it held its own and traded blows, sometimes winning and sometimes losing, but considering this is a much lower power chip, I was very impressed. It is definitely capable of handling rendering, encoding, and handling zip files with ease. Also, if your software can make use of the CUDA with the GTX 1650 Max-Q, this can also help accelerate your workload nicely. Although the MSI Prestige 15 is not a gaming laptop, it can generally get over 50 FPS at high settings in AAA titles, and I didn't find the fan noise too obtrusive under load. And MSI gives the user excellent control options with various power profiles and the ability to customize the fan to your liking. If you want it near silent in an office, you can do that. If you want it blasting lots of air as you game, you can do that too. I recommend playing games using the comfort settings and auto fan for a good balance between thermals, frame rates and fan noise. As you can see, the CPU and the GPU are running in the 70s, and I think this is a great job. The keyboard deck is the same carbon grey aluminium, and we have a large glass, one-piece Windows Precision trackpad with an integrated fingerprint reader. It is some 35% larger and 30% more responsive than before. I did find that it was a little spongy to use though, and the left click would activate quite high up in the trackpad and even at least to the center, so at times it was a little bit harder to use. Personally, I would prefer separate mouse buttons. The keys however are nice and large with good spacing, 1.5mm of travel and a nice bright white painting on the keycaps. One thing in particular I found useful was the presentation mode, whereby the screen would go flat, and by pressing the F12 key, the screen would flip around so somebody sitting opposite you can see what you are discussing. If you press the F7 key, that allows you to switch between the power modes. The air venting is towards the hinge, but should you wish to use it closed, say attached to a monitor, the air vents are not blocked, and I think this would be a good setup for many in an office. Now the keys are backlit white with 3 levels of brightness and was certainly easily visible in the dark. If you are hoping to use the Prestige 15 for real-time audio, then I'm afraid it failed my latency mon test. So yeah, the Prestige 15 was a near perfect laptop for me. A laptop that can game, has the CPU power to run all but the most taxing tasks, yet has great build quality and a professional looking chassis. Other than getting an OLED, this 4K display is great, and the beauty of it all is that the battery will last you most of the day. And it is so slim, at 15.9mm it won't take up too much room in your bag. As a creator, I also value it has 2 M.2 drives for my video files. I'd like to thank you for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.